Hi, I'm Rocky Batani from Private Lender Link. I'd like to introduce you to Pelorus Equity Group, a hard money lender that specializes in residential rehab, fix and flip, and ground-up construction loans. And I went down to their office in Laguna Hills, California, met with one of their principals, Rob Seacrest, and asked him to talk about their lending guidelines, their loan process, their pricing, and much more.
Hi, I'm Rob Seacrest with Pelorus Equity Group. I'm a co-founding partner and vice president. We are here in Laguna Hills, California, and we lend construction and rehab loans throughout California and some of the western regional states. About 95% of all of the loans that we do are single-family residence or up to 4 units. Rehab or construction. Of all those loans, I'd say that 75% are rehab as opposed to ground-up construction. Regarding loan amounts, currently we're capped at $2.5 million when we're lending on a completed value project, and that's just because of compliance reasons. But we'll have a CFL license in place within the next 30 days, and that'll allow us to go past that. And we'll probably cap it at around $5 million for any one loan amount. And our minimum is $100,000. We're currently licensed in California, and we have the ability to go into the western regional states. And we have a fund that we're launching as well, and we're getting prepared for the licensing to expand into Texas and into some other states as well. But as of today, it's just currently California is where we're currently lending. In regards to loan to cost, we consider cost everything that goes into the loan, not just the purchase price and budget. So that would be your title insurance, your origination, anything that comes from proceeds of the loan, we consider that cost. And of that, we will go up to 75% is our requirement of what our loan to cost would be. We'll lend up to as high as 65 and even 70% in rare circumstances of the completed value. And we'll start adjusting those amounts of money that's necessary to come in from 25% down to 20% and even 15% and 10% in some circumstances when the borrower has the proven experience and liquidity and the other offsetting factors for us to consider reducing that skin in the game that we typically require. For our costs, typically most origination is 2.5 points, starting from there. And our pricing is starting from as low as 8% for the most experienced borrowers to as high as 10.5%. And the other cost that we have is we have typically $1,750 to $2,750 of other junk fees that we may have for a transaction. And there's also third-party costs, which are for the fund control, which is a percentage of the budget, and project oversight, which is for managing that process, for making sure your project is moving along. So each one of those, typically the project oversight one is typically as high as 0.5 point based on the budget amount, and the fund control fee is a different percentage depending on the size of the budget. So I think that the minimum it is like $1,500, and it goes up from there, but it's less than 0.5 point. It's, I think, 0.25% or so. For doing business with Pelorus, we're a smaller company. We're not a big shop, and you're able to speak with one of the principals, myself or Dan, to get a resolution to a problem. Typically, in your first phone call, we're typically available, or an email within an hour, or just a couple hours. We'll get you a response. And one of the things with working with us is that it's not just a response, but if it's a problem that you're having to work through, we'll provide a solution. It may not be the solution you were looking for, but at least we'll provide something that is a solution that is something that's available. We're not in the business of just saying no, and we're not in the business of being your lending partner per se. We're still just a lender. But we'll try to provide solutions that we can both work through when things change in the loan, and they typically do.